Ball Facts coming back at you again, and we gonna give you the facts. Today we're gonna talk about Lamelo Ball shooting form, the mechanics, the pros, the cons, how it affects his game, and what will become of it when he gets to the league. Okay, let's go. So everybody knows the story of the scrawny little kid playing up with his brothers. LeVar trained his boys together and played his boys together, which meant even though Lonzo and LiAngelo were years above Lamelo, Lamelo had to keep up. So the young boy grew up always playing with a disadvantage in height and weight. So without his permission or knowledge, his entire game was built around how to get his shot over tall players as quick as possible. From the backyard with his brothers to the Big Ballers AAU games, he always had to figure out how to get his shot up in a way that when he did, they didn't know when he was going to do it. And when it went up, it was high enough to not get blocked. And when you're the smallest and weakest boy on the court, that's a tough feat. But LeVar wasn't playing around with him. He wasn't going to tell him, like, it's okay, we'll put you in a smaller league. He wasn't going to tell his brothers, take it easy on him. He told Lamelo, get better. So with all that said, if you watch Lamelo's games, we can see what skills and methods he developed by playing at such a disadvantage for all those years. His handles. Everyone has seen Lamelo's crossing people up for years. When everyone is bigger and stronger, you can't just play physical bully ball. Really, you don't want anybody to be able to keep up with you. So you got to learn to keep people's ankles rocking. You got to learn how to move good laterally. You got to feel the ball at all times while you're dribbling without looking down. You just got to know where it is. You just got to have that touch. And that's exactly what Lamelo developed early. Even in Chino Hills, his handles were better than Lonzo's. Because Lonzo had a decent handle, but soon as he touched the ball, he passed it right away. And we weren't complaining, we loved it. But anyway, Lamelo's handles were developed because it's the first offensive skill that he would need in order to create any kind of space for himself while going at bigger and stronger competition like a LiAngelo. Next, his layup package. Everyone knows Lamelo has the sauciest layups out of his brothers. Well, after 5,000 blocks from Lonzo and LiAngelo and every other fifth grader in Chino Hills, you got to start to think, how can I change this up? Lamelo went in his little lunchbox, pulled out his peanut butter sandwich, and slapped on some jelly. He learned how to go up and under, how to put English on the ball, how to fake, then scoopity-doopty, whoop, right on him. And we see that today, to the point where I think he's more comfortable doing a jelly layup on a defender trying to contest him than a regular layup after blowing by a guy. That's why sometimes he does these jelly layups even when he doesn't need to. He goes in the air, has a flashback to when he was 5'8" in the backyard with Lonzo and automatically brings the jelly out. He also developed a floater game that his two other brothers do not have. I mean, they can hit a floater, don't get me wrong, but not like Lamelo. And the floater is one of the most efficient ways to get the ball over bigger, taller competition when you're driving in the lane and all that. And this is going to help him in the NBA greatly. I hope Jermaine Jackson works with him on his floater a lot more, so it's at tip-top shape when he gets in the league. And I still have to address this one skill that Lamelo has developed because of being so undersized, and that is his shot. That's probably the first thing you notice when you watch him play. If you were to look up Lamelo Ball, you didn't know him, and you just clicked Lamelo Ball highlights, you'd be like, wow, that's a weird shot, because it's not normal. A normal shot, and this is what coaches teach players when they first start playing the game, is shooting with your elbow in, ball to the side of your face, and supporting hand is only there for support, not to help in shooting the ball. Your feet is set and you follow through, and a coach will tell players to shoot, then critique them a little bit and then say, keep shooting that same way every time consistently. Practice makes perfect. Now, can you imagine LeVar teaching this to Lamelo? Then every time he tries it, Big G3, G Honcho just runs out of nowhere and slaps the heck out of the ball. And then, he sets his feet, he puts his elbow in, and before he even gets it to his head level, Lonzo just strips him. This brother had to be just frustrated. And when I was at the gym. I was shooting normal. Then I decided, let me try Lamelo ball shot. Ball facts. And I thought, okay, let me go ahead and try it. And even though it was way off and uncontrollable for me, it was way quicker to get off. I challenge you guys, the next time you go to the gym, try to shoot like Lamelo, his gather in his form. You will see exactly what I'm talking about. He developed a shooting form that when he gathers the ball, you don't even know that it's happening. When you don't have to get your elbow straight, you can just go from dribbling to shooting in no time. The transition is just quick. And when he brings the ball up, his elbow not having to be straight keeps the ball further away from him, making the defender have to come closer in order to try to block it. But if you get too close to LaMelo Ball, he can just blow right by you. He's got that skill and speed. So his shot is very close to his body when he brings it up. And he's not only keeping it away from the defender, but he's eliminating the extra time it takes to straighten out his arm to get the elbow in. He literally eliminated a main part of shooting a basketball in order to match up against older, bigger, stronger, and faster competition. And that's just crazy. And the more crazy part about it is he did it successfully. That, you know what I'm saying? That's like making a turkey sandwich without the turkey and it still tastes good. Are you kidding me? And when I tried LaMelo's shooting form at the gym, I actually had more range. You know, shooting with his technique allows him to not have to go in the paint where the big players waited to swat his shot. He could now just pull from downtown. He uses, some strength from his supporting hand to shoot as well, which is a big shooting no-no. But being so small and scrawny, he needed to shoot from far away in order to make up for it. And that is the reason his legs go all over the place, is because when LaMelo was short playing against these bigger players, he shot whenever there was a window. He couldn't wait for his feet to be in a certain position every time, or he wouldn't get his shot off. If you watch him while he's dribbling, defenders don't know when he's going to shoot because they can't see it coming by his feet position. And that's why his legs do crazy things when his shot goes up. Sometimes he lifts his knee way up and other times his legs just sway to the side. There's no consistency in that. Now, this entire package of skills he developed due to his disadvantages, the handles, the jelly, the floater, the unorthodox shot, it turned him into a state championship, a 92-point legend, a YouTube sensation, a NBL stat killer, a potential #1 2020 draft pick. If he was born first, he wouldn't be the Melo Dip that we know. If LeVar told his brothers take it easy on him and allowed him only to play kids his age, he wouldn't be the Mr. MB1 that we know today, and he wouldn't be as good. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is facts. But if you're an NBA team, how are you to interpret this? Everything that makes him #1 in your eyesight is what makes you question him. Will he be able to score in the NBA? They look at his older brother, Lonzo. They see his shot and they're like, okay, he was good in high school. His shot was good in college. But when he got to the NBA, it went broke. Well, two things. The NBL is more of a preview of what someone can do in the NBA than the NCAA. Take the top 3 college teams right now and throw them in the NBL and see if they can be as successful as they are in college in the NBL. I don't think so. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Anyway, the other thing is this: LaMelo's shot is not easily fixable. It's just not. And you know what they say: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, he had a shooting slump. We all know that. But his shot isn't broke. Do you even understand if you try to change LaMelo's shot, how that would affect him? You would literally turn him into Markelle Fultz. And we don't want to see that. He would have to learn how to shoot from scratch. He even would have to relearn how to just get his shot off, how to shoot off the dribble. He would be getting blocked trying to line his elbow up. And once you took his shot away, his offensive threat goes way down. He wouldn't be as bad as like Lonzo on the Lakers. I'll admit that, because he can still drive, finish around the rim. He's got a floater. But without his shot, his hezzy doesn't work. And people will just back off of him when he's at the 3-point line like they did Ben Simmons. You know, his brother Lonzo's shot is an easier fix because his elbow was already pointed somewhat forward. He just needed to pull his hand from the left side and let it stay over there where his elbow already was. It's a lot harder to focus on moving the entire position of your elbow than your hand. And that is what Lamelo would have to do. And that is why Jermaine Jackson is a smart man to work on bettering what's already there and giving him consistency in his unorthodox method. He's come too far to turn back, ladies and gentlemen. I will admit that his shooting form seems like it'll be hard to keep it consistent, especially when he's tired. But this is LaMelo Ball. He played all those minutes in high school games and he was tired. He's practiced the shot since he was a kid. So if anyone can get this shot consistent, it would be him. But people can argue the same thing about Lonzo. You know, that's what people said. And look at him now. Personally, I think this shot, even though it's ugly, is his secret weapon and he should keep it. Because if they try to change it, it could become his kryptonite. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Ball facts again. Peace.